This is Druid4574 and welcome back for another ship build. This week we're going to do a mining build, which is going to take our ship in a pretty wildly different direction from the exploration kit, and set us up eventually for doing a combat build, some of which is similar. So let's revisit the ship here. We'll do optionals first, and then follow it up with core internal. So let's see. Definitely still need these items, at least for the moment. So I'm going to sell this stuff. Sell that. And I'm going to sell this shield. So, depending on the type of mining you'd like to do, the surface scanner and the discovery scanner are optional. There's plenty of good mining within the bubble, and so I'm just going to eliminate them for the purposes. Well, okay, I'll take that back. I will. Yeah, I'm just gonna sell these, and then I can add them back if I need to later. Sorry about my indecision. Okay, so on a mining ship, you for sure need some cargo racks. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put the cargo racks, as much as we can fit, up here. That's kind of critical. You also need a really big Hurricane refinery. Or mining doesn't work very well, so we'll get one of those on here. Here we go. Biggest one we can fit, most expensive, the one that works the best. We'll put that sucker on there. Then, let's see. So we've got the two most critical parts of a mining ship here. Aside from the actual mining lasers, which we'll get into in a little bit. So these are the basic, most basic requirements. Now, if you want to do mining a little bit better, you can employ Limpet systems. So let's put a Limpet system on here. So we're going to have prospecting Limpets, which tell you if you're mining from an asteroid or a ring rock, if you will. The Limpets will allow you to see what the asteroid or ring rock is composed of, and that can be really handy. I think it also increases the yield, the mining yield, but it's difficult to confirm that. And then the other really handy thing to have on board are collector limpets. Collection limpets, there we go. And a collection limpet passively picks up the mined off chunks, so you don't have to scoop them the old-fashioned way of using your cargo scoop and lining the indicators up and all that. It just makes mining a lot smoother. Okay, so we've got the main criticals. Of a mining ship. So I've got an extra internal compartment. I will fill it out with yet more cargo racks. Just as many as we can fit on there. Have a carrying capacity of 32 there. That should do us nicely. Okay, I'm happy with this loadout, at least for optionals. So we need to visit now and see if we want any utility mounts. Not strictly necessary, although we could have some defensive weapons in case we get attacked. Honestly, I'm not too concerned about it. I have put a electronic countermeasure on there. It's handy sometimes, but I don't know. I think I'll just leave those off for now. No particular need for those. But for sure, what we need are some mining lasers. So we'll get those on here. They are not effective against ships. So I'm just going to take these forward-firing mining lasers. There's not really any point to having a turreted one. And we'll make a badass mining ship with as many mining lasers as I can fit on it. The highest class, so we can really pummel an asteroid with our lasers here. Do all the mining lasers on the ship. Okay. So now we've got all the critical elements on board already. But I'll have to visit the core internals here, because we're going to have to change this fairly radically. And much of what I do here is going to be useful for our combat build, so I'll just reuse many of these things. So this is going to be the first ship I'll have that does not have the lightweight alloys. So especially because we're running without shields, it's going to be a really good idea to have high-grade hull. Now, I don't see any point in putting these specialized surfaces on, as they don't give any hull boost above the military grade and come with bonuses and weaknesses that really just aren't going to help us, at least for mining. So I'll choose regular old military grade composite. Now, of course, all of these things I'm adding to the ship are the maximum, like, I'm getting what will make the ship the best. Obviously, if you're starting out and just doing a build, you might not be able to afford the these high-class items, and that's okay. You can put on whatever you can afford and make it as good as you can, and then upgrade as you make money. So yeah, we're going to put in the maximum class power plant, because we'll need to power all of our equipment on board this thing. I guess strictly not too necessary, kind of a little OP here, but that's okay, I'll use it later. So yeah, we're going to put better thrusters on here. Frameshift drive, I'll leave that. 3D life support, leave that. Definitely want that power distributor. Those mining lasers use a tremendous amount of energy, so we need to power them. And I'll upgrade the sensors too. It's nice to be able to see if there's pirates in the area. So yeah, I'll put those on here. Now, of course, putting all this heavy, high-class stuff on here has trashed our exploration jump range, and that's fine. This is not a ship designed to go far quickly. But this looks to be a ship in good shape, so I have no other further ideas. Why don't we take it out and do a little bit of mining. And yeah, I will have to set the fire groups here, so why don't we do that briefly. I'll kind of just set them how I like a mining ship to look. So usually I like having the Prospector Limpet on its own fire group, and that's just because the game doesn't allow us to have more than 2 triggers, if you will, per fire group, which is, well, kind of irritating, but we have to work with it. So for the Collector Limpet, I'm going to put them on fire on trigger 2, and then the mining lasers on the primary. And you'll see why when we get out there and mine a little bit. All right, so let's figure out where do we want to go here? Okay, is this close? Yeah. Why don't we just go to this ring here and mine in the ring.
Landing restraints lifted. Moderate speed on exit.
Ooh, this thing really moves with that high-class thruster.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Okay, so while we're flying out there, I talk a little bit about mining. There's a lot of information online with the databases and the forums and the Reddit and all of that about how to do mining effectively and how to find like various materials that you might need for missions or just helping out. For example, like doing starport repair, they'll need materials to do that, or sometimes mined resources. Sorry, separate from materials. But yeah, there's tons of information out there. A quick Google search can start you in the right direction. And mining is kind of a slow process. It's a grind. It can be a little bit frustrating if you're having difficulty finding what you want. But the Prospector Limpet will help greatly with that, so you don't have to start shooting at every asteroid to try and figure out its composition. So we're going to go to a ring, and instead of finding a resource extraction site, we're going to pick our own, versus the asteroid belts where there usually will be some sort of jump toable, if you will, location. And then rings that are actively being mined will sometimes have resource extraction sites. Perhaps we'll see some of those on our way here. Now, because we have collector limpets and cargo racks on board, it could also be convenient to stop at signal sources and gather materials. I've definitely done that on my way to and from mining operations. However, it's worth pointing out that if you have any valuable items in your cargo hold, the pirates will come right after you, and that can make mining a difficult thing. So generally to avoid the pirates, I'll go with empty cargo racks and show up at wherever the site I'm going to mine is and let them scan me if they're going to do that, and then they'll move on after seeing that I have nothing of value. And I'll usually fly out of range of their sensors if I can, and then go to work. So I just realized that I'm an idiot, and I didn't put any limpets on board. There's a place we can stop and do that. I will, but maybe it's just faster to synthesize them. Yeah, okay, so I'm an idiot, and I forgot to put them on board. So we're going to synthesize some limpets using some of my resources, so we'll resupply those. Okay, so now we should have limpets on board. Good. Yeah, I forgot to do that. It's easy to do in a Starport Services menu to put limpets on board your ship for use. You got to go into the advanced maintenance and restock. And then in the restock menu, it will give you an option to add or delete limpets at the cost of credits. So, it looks like I got a couple of choices here. These rings might all be the same. It's hard for me to tell. So I'm going to look here and see if they tell us anything. It's just an icy ring, so all of these ones we see are all part of the same. But what I'm going to do is try to find the highest density. That way I'll have the best chance of finding rocks close to each other, and there'll be less work overall. So I'll be aiming for this kind of central, the brightest bit here. And then as we approach the ring, I'll slow to less than 1,000 kilometers a second, and it'll drop us out without us taking full damage. Alright. So, probably what happens is some NPCs will spawn. Okay, there's one. I'll just get into the rings here. Bring up the lasers. That NPC appears to be allied with me, so I'm going to assume they're not going to be a threat. Alright, so we're going to come in and slow down here so I don't accidentally crash into anything. So I'm going to bring up the Prospector Limpets, and what do we got here? Pirate. You can scan me all you like. It's just the cops. Okay, anyway, so we've got the Prospector Limpet, and I'm going to shoot it at this asteroid here. So yeah, I'll just click the button, and then I have to keep my targeting reticle where it wants to go until it actually fires. So there it goes. We'll select the Limpet, and we'll wait for it to get to its rock. Now, we have low-class Limpets, just because we don't have the space on board this ship, so we can only fire one at a time. My usual mining ship, you can do 4, then you can just go to your contacts and select what's going on from those. So it looks like we've got basic stuff here: hydrogen peroxide, liquid oxygen, water, nothing too valuable, but this will just be a demonstration of mining. So let's say we don't want any of those materials and are looking for something else, so I can fire the Prospector again. It'll cause the first one to fail, since we can only have one at a time. For that guy to get over there. Okay, there we go. Methanol monohydrate. So there's usually mining rush missions for this commodity. So this looks like a good candidate for mining. So I'll approach. And then now we're within range of the mining lasers. So generally, I like to be pretty close. And then I'll just open fire. Move power over to weapons so that they don't overload so quickly. And there's some chunks broken off, so I'll fire that collector. Off that goes. And we'll have to drop the cargo scoop so it can put the new stuff in there. So yeah, I'll just fire at this asteroid, shoot away. And it tells us how many minerals are remaining there up at the top. Now, one thing to be aware of, because we only have the one collector Limpet, is we'll have to be careful that none of these, because they'll like despawn after a while, and yeah, that would not be any good. So we gotta make sure I don't have too many of these in the air at once. Okay, so yeah, this has been a brief demonstration of mining, so I'll just let the collector Limpet do its thing. And then, yeah, we got to look at our refinery here, and it looks like we're collecting. Oh, hey, bromelite! Wow, I didn't notice that before. Highly valuable. Yeah, so it looks like we've already picked up a unit of methanol monohydrate crystals. I'll just sit here and wait for my collector Limpet to finish its gig. The last 3. to speed it up, you can point the bottom of your ship kind of at what's being collected. That way the collector limpet doesn't have to fly as far. The cargo scoop's on the bottom of the vessel. Okay, so there we have it. And you can just do that grind to get more and more materials as needed. But now we've got methanol monohydrate to go and sell, so we're going to go do that. But I don't see any particular reason why I have to do that on video. That's basic flying skill. So this has been Druid4574, and thank you for watching.